This example demonstrates how to write a couple simple string functions. So the first function that we're going to write is one to display a message, hello name. So this is pretty simple. We're just going to define a function called hello name, and we're going to pass it a parameter that we'll call name, and that'll be a string. And don't forget to put the colon on the end of the line there. And really all we're going to do in this method is just print hello plus name plus an exclamation point. We also could separate these by commas, although if we want the exclamation point to be right next to the end of the name, we should use concatenation like this. And notice I put a space between the hello and the name. So now in order to run this, to test it, I need to load it. So I'm going to load the program, and it's going to ask you if you want to ask me if I want to save it. So I'll say yes. And so I'm just going to call it string functions .py. So whatever you call it, put a .py on the end. I think I'll capitalize this, string functions. All right. Now I hit load, and now I can test it, and I can call hello name, and I'll pass it Bob, and it displays hello Bob for me. So no matter what I pass it, it's going to display that. If I pass it, however, 7, I'm going to get an error because it is expecting a string as a parameter. I can't add an integer to my strings. That only works with string objects. So that is something to keep in mind, is that this function is only going to work with a string, which is okay. That's what we intend it to do. It's not a bad idea with our functions to put a comment at the before them telling what they do. Displays the message hello name. Okay. Now I'm going to write another one, and this one is going to be the mirror function. So the idea is it's going to actually return a string that is the mirror image of the string that I pass it. So that's going to require me to loop over all of the characters in the string. So this returns a mirror image of a string, and now I'm just going to put def mirror, and I'm passing it a string, and here I want to loop over all the characters in the string, and I'm going to build a new string that's the mirror image. So I'm going to call this target, and I'm just going to initialize it to what's called the empty string, so it's nothing right now. And I'm going to say for letter in string colon target is equal to the letter, so I'm going to put it on the front and on the end of the target so far. And then at the end, I'm going to return my target. So this is returning a value rather than just printing it like our previous function was. So this is going to put, for each letter in the string, like A, B, C, it's going to put A on the front and A on the end, and then B on the front and B on the end, and then C on the front and C on the end, and we're going to end up with a mirror image. So let's load our program again and save it, yes. And so now I'm going to call mirror, and I'm going to pass it hello. And it's going to return hello as a mirror image. If I want to see what's going on, I just want to trace what's happening in my function, I can add to my loop, be sure to indent it under the for statement. I can add print target each time, and this will show me how it's building that string. So I'm just going to put this in here temporarily just to see what's going on. And I'll run it again. Mirror, and this time I'll say A, B, C, D. And here it prints, I can see that it prints AA, BA, AB, CB, AA, BC, and so forth. So I can see how it's building the string by putting each character on the beginning and the end. Because it returns a target, one of the things that I can do when I call my function is I can say something like result is equal to, this is how it's different from a function that just prints something. Mirror ABC, and then I can print, I need to get rid of that print statement in there, result, and I can see that it holds the answer. That is, it sent that value back. I'm going to get rid of this print statement in here because I don't need it anymore. So anyway, those are a couple example simple string functions. One that just prints something and one that builds a new string and returns it. So give that a try.